welcome back to another Chillwave ASMR. Super excited to be here today. Very excited to be sharing with you another episode of Chewing Gum while reading interesting facts. Now today's video is going to be a little bit more interesting than usual. Today we're going to be reviewing 50 supernatural ghost and poltergeist encounters. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be completely wild. I don't know if you believe in ghosts. You don't have to believe in ghosts. Is it spooky? Yes. Absolutely. Is it mysterious? Absolutely. Is it entertaining? Even if you don't believe in ghosts? Yes, of course. Do I believe in ghosts? No comment. No comment. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the channel, to 60 Days of ASMR, to the whole thing. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate your comments. I read every single comment. I endeavor to respond to every comment. And, I'm just very grateful for all of your time and support and attention. And I hope that you are enjoying the content. I hope you're enjoying the videos. That's what matters most. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not subscribed, please do consider subscribing. It's the easiest way to help the channel to grow and to continue this transformation, this journey, this building of a community. So, thank you. Alright guys, let's not waste any time. Let's dig in to this crazy supernatural ghost and poltergeist encounter stories. Pretty wild. So, if any of these interest you, feel free to look them up. If you find out more cool information, let me know, because I'm curious too. Alright, let's dig in. Alright, let's start with classical historical hauntings. So the first one is the Tower of London. The fortress has been haunted for centuries by numerous spirits, including Anne Boleyn, who appears carrying her severed head. Oh my god, that's extra. The princess in the tower, who had been seen playing in the battlements, and a massive bear that terrifies guards in the courtyard. Okay, the only thing scarier than a headless ghost is a bear ghost. That's the last thing that I want to encounter, is a bear ghost. That's crazy. Alright, the Bell Witch of Tennessee, 1817 to 1821. The Bell family was tormented by an invisible entity that spoke, moved objects, and physically attacked family members. The spirit claimed to be Kate Batts, a neighbor who had a land dispute with John Bell. Even future President Andrew Jackson fled after encountering the entity. Okay. We all have neighbors sometimes that we don't get along with, but that's extra. That's completely extra. Alright, the Brown Lady of Rainman Hall. Lady Dorothy Walpole's ghost has been photographed multiple times in this Norfolk estate. The most famous photo from 1936 shows a translucent figure descending the staircase. Witness reports her glowing eyes and the rustling of her silk dress. Okay, that's spooky. That's very spooky. Okay, here's another one. The Drummer of Tedworth, 1661. Magistrate John Mumpenson confiscated a drum from a vagrant, after which his house was plagued by drumming sounds, moving furniture, and flying objects. The case was investigated by clergymen and became one of the most documented poltergeist cases. Wow. That drum is haunted, for sure. Crazy. Okay. The Cock Lane Ghost, 1762. The spirit of Fanny Kent allegedly communicated through scratching sounds heard by 11-year-old Elizabeth Parsons in London. The case attracted huge crowds and was investigated by a committee including Samuel Johnson, though it was eventually deemed fraudulent. I don't know. They say it's fraudulent, but I don't know. Can't say for sure. Okay, we got Victorian era hauntings. Love that. Love that. Okay, we got Borley Rectory, the most haunted house in England. From 1862 to 1939, residents reported phantom nuns, ghostly writing on walls, mysterious fires, and poltergeist activity. Investigator Harry Price documented phenomena including flying objects, temperature drops, and unexplained sounds. This could have been a Gengar, you guys. This could just be a Gengar haunting. We don't know. Unconfirmed. Okay, the haunting of Wilmington Mill, 1834 to 1847. The Proctor family endured 13 years of supernatural activity, including phantom footsteps, mysterious figures, and objects moving on their own. The case was documented by Edmund Proctor and investigated by skeptical observers who confirmed this phenomenon. Gosh. Have you guys ever experienced ghost stories? Maybe it's too dramatic to bring up. I don't know. I think I saw an apparition once. I'll leave it at that. I think maybe I did, but I can't confirm it. It's hard to say. It's scary stuff. But let me know. Do you believe in ghosts? And if you feel comfortable, share your ghost story. I'm so interested. Okay. We've got the Amherst Mystery, 1878 to 1879. Esther Cox, a 19-year-old in Nova Scotia, experienced violent poltergeist activity, including objects flying through the air, fires starting spontaneously, and writing appearing on walls. Doctors and investigators witnessed the phenomenon, but found no explanation. Well, I don't like that. I will say that I don't like that. That's crazy. Okay, the Great Amherst Mystery continuation. Esther Cox's case included physical attacks where she would swell up like a balloon, pins would appear stuck in her body, and loud noises would emanate from her presence. The case was documented by actor Walter Hubble, who lived with the family. Okay, what the heck? That's wild. So this went on for some time with her, with this girl apparently. That's very interesting. Okay. The Epworth Rectory Poltergeist, 1716. The Wesley family, founders of Methodism, experienced months of supernatural activity, including loud noises, moving furniture, and an entity they nicknamed Old Jeffrey. The phenomena centered around 19-year-old Hetty Wesley. Old Jeffrey. Wow. That's a bit alarming. I will say that. What are you going to do, though? Okay, here we go. We're getting into the juicy stuff, you guys. The juicy stuff. Modern residential hauntings. Love that. Love a good haunted house story. Okay, the Enfield Poltergeist of 1977 to 1979. The Hodgson family in North London experienced furniture moving, objects flying, and an 11-year-old Janet speaking in the voice of a deceased man named Bill Wilkins. Investigators recorded over 1,500 incidents, including Janet levitating while asleep. Nope. Absolutely not. That is terrible. That is way over the top, you guys. What the heck? Janet levitating while asleep? No. I'm not visiting them, I will say that. Okay, this one I think is a little bit more famous. There's movies about it and stuff. It's called The Amityville Horror, 1975. The Lutz family fled their Long Island home after 28 days of terrifying phenomena, including cold spots, mysterious odors, doors slamming, and apparitions. The house was the site of a mass murder 1 year earlier. Oh my gosh. No, don't like that. That's bad. That's bad spirits for sure. Bad juju. Okay. Here's another one. I think I've heard of this one. The Haunting of the Smurl Family, 1974 to 1989. That's a long time. Did they just not move? Like, I feel like I would be out of there. Like in the scary movies when they start experiencing stuff and they just keep living with it. No, I would be fully gone. I'd be fully away from that space. There's no question. The Pennsylvania family endured 15 years of activity, including physical attacks, levitation, demonic voices. Investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren documented the case, which included multiple witnesses and unexplained phenomenon. Guys, 15 years. Really? That's a long time. That's like a massive portion of your life. Move. Can we move? Did anyone think of that? I guess sometimes they say that the hauntings and the spirits follow you. I don't know. What can I say? It's a bit alarming, though. Okay. We have the Bridgeport Poltergeist in 1974. The Gooden family experienced objects flying through the air, furniture moving, and mysterious fires. Noticing a lot of similar themes here between all these cases. Police officers and firefighters witnessed the phenomenon, and investigators found no explanation for the supernatural occurrences. So poltergeists like moving things, furniture, seems to be the case. Things flying through the air, mysterious fires, those all sound pretty classic at this point. By the end of this, we're going to be experts, I would say, Visitors to George Mackenzie's tomb have reported physical attacks, unexplained injuries, and supernatural encounters. Over 450 documented attacks have occurred, making it one of the most active poltergeists in the world. I'm gonna have to Google who this guy George Mackenzie is, because I don't know anything about this guy. You know, history's not my thing, I guess, but I'm gonna have to look that up. And, you know, I would say don't visit that tomb. That would be my advice. 450 people have been attacked there. Maybe don't go. You know, let's be real here. There's a certain amount of, like, common sense, that little je ne sais quoi, that little thing, that little voice in your head that says, maybe don't go to the place where people are being attacked by ghosts. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Oh, this is fun. Haunted hotels and inns. The Stanley Hotel in Colorado, Stephen King's inspiration for The Shining, is haunted by its original owners and numerous guests. Room 217 experiences phantom piano music, children playing in the halls, and ghostly figures in period dress appearing throughout the hotel. Okay, the Stanley Hotel. I do remember hearing about that, because I think the Overlook Hotel in The Shining is meant to be like the Stanley Hotel. Yeah, that's creepy for sure. Okay, the Queen Mary, Long Beach, California. The retired ocean liner is home to numerous spirits, including a woman in white in the Queen's Saloon, children near the pool, and crew members still working their posts. The most active area is the engine room, where a young sailor was crushed to death. Okay, that's very unsettling. But I wonder, like, you know, was there some kind of mass casualty event on this boat? Like, why are there spirits hanging around there? Maybe they just had a really good time on their vacation, and that's how they're spending their afterlife. I don't know. I can't comment on that. I have no idea. Okay, we got the Langham Hotel in London. Napoleon III haunts room 333. A Victorian doctor walks the halls carrying a medical bag, and German prince who jumped from a fourth floor window still appears at that location. Charles Dickens held seances in the hotel's basement. That is so weird and interesting. Charles Dickens. Maybe he was a weird guy. You know, he liked ghosts, I think, though, because, of course, you'll remember, A Christmas Carol is about, an old crotchety, greedy man named Scrooge who's visited by 3 spirits, and then learns the value of Christmas and all the good stuff, is reformed in the end, and, of course, is visited by a number of apparitions. So, you know, it may be that Charles Dickens had a real interest area in that space. Okay, we got Driscoll Hotel, Austin, Texas. The ghost of Colonel Jesse Driscoll still roams this hotel, along with a young girl who fell down the grand staircase and a woman who appears on the 5th floor. Guests report elevators operating on their own in mysterious cold spots. The cold spot thing is classic. I remember hearing about that. Okay, we have the Crescent Hotel in Arkansas, known as America's most haunted hotel. It houses the spirit of a cancer quack doctor, a stonemason who fell during construction, and numerous patients who died during the building's time as a hospital. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, you do not turn a hospital into a hotel. That is for sure a recipe for haunting. There's no way. That's crazy. Okay. Battlefield and wartime hauntings. Oh, this will be interesting. So we have Gettysburg Battlefield. Okay, the site of the Civil War's bloodiest battle is haunted by soldiers still fighting phantom gunfire and ghostly encampments. Witnesses report seeing entire regiments marching across fields and hearing battle cries echoing through the night. Wow, that's out of control. Okay, the Queen's House in Greenwich. A 17th century staircase photo revealed a hooded figure climbing the stairs. Staff and visitors report phantom footsteps, cold spots, and the feeling of invisible hands touching them. The building served as a naval hospital during wartime. Okay. If anything, this is a beautiful list of places never to visit, I think. Okay, Eastern State Penitentiary. Okay, so Eastern State, if that's in Philly. Okay. Abandoned in 1971, the prison is haunted by former inmates, including bank robber Willie Sutton and Al Capone. Visitors report disembodied laughter, a shadowy figure in the cells, and the sound of phantom footsteps echoing through the cell blocks. Nope, don't like that. The Winchester Mystery House. Sarah Winchester built this bizarre mansion to appease the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. The house features staircases leading to nowhere, doors opening to walls, and persistent reports reports of phantom construction sounds and ghostly figures. That is terrible. Remind me never to go there. Okay, we have the Poveglia Island. I think I'm not saying this right. Poveglia Island in Italy. So it's used as a plague quarantine station and later as a mental hospital. That is terrible. That is fully a recipe for haunting, if I've ever heard it in my life. The island is reportedly haunted by 160,000 people who died there. We're cooked. There's no way. We're not going there, guys. We are not going there. Visitors report ash falling from the sky, screaming voices and apparitions of plague victims and mental patients. No. 160,000 of them. No way. It's not happening. Okay, here we go. Theatrical and entertainment hauntings. The Theatre, Royal Drury Lane, London. The man in grey appears in upper circle wearing 18th century clothing. Actors consider his presence good luck, as shows he attends to be successful. His identity remains unknown, but a skeleton was found walled up in the theater. What? Someone walled up someone in the theater? That's crazy. Okay, the Palace Theater in New York. Judy Garland's spirit allegedly haunts the venue where she performed, with witnesses reporting her singing voice echoing through the empty theater and her perfume scent appearing in dressing rooms. That is wild. That is so wild. Judy Garland, R.I.P. Mad respect. Actually, myself and Mrs. Chillwave watched The Wizard of Oz yesterday, so that's a wild one. Okay, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. Marilyn Monroe's mirror from her favorite suite reflects her image when she's not there. Montgomery Clift's ghost plays his trumpet in room 928, and children from a daycare that operated there in the 1920s still play in the hallways. Oh my goodness. Unsubscribe from that for sure. That's crazy. Okay, the Orpheum Theater in Memphis. Mary, a little girl who died in the theater, still plays pranks on performers and staff. She's known for moving props, turning lights on and off, and giggling during rehearsals. Actors leave candy for her to maintain good relations. Wow. That's insane. Okay, the Savoy Theater in London. Built on the site of the medieval Savoy Palace, the theater is haunted by a man in grey evening dress who appears during performances. The ghost is believed to be connected to the palace's violent history during the Peasants' Revolt. Well, I don't know. That's wild. Okay, now we have religious and sacred site hauntings. This is going to be very interesting. Okay, the Borley Rectory Nun. Before the rectory was built, witnesses report a phantom nun walking the grounds. She was allegedly a 13th century French nun who tried to elope with a monk from nearby Borley Church. Both were caught and executed. Oh, that's terrible. And she continues to walk the path to her forbidden love. Oh, that's heartbreaking. There's so much sorrow in that. Okay, St. Bartholomew's Hospital in London. Founded in the year 1123. That's a long time ago. The hospital is haunted by a grey lady who appears to patients before they die, seemingly offering comfort. Staff report seeing her in the oldest parts of the building, particularly near the church. Okay, that's terrible. Seriously. Okay, Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky. This former tuberculosis hospital is haunted by the 63,000 patients. 63,000 ghosts. We're cooked. Patients who died there. So room 502 is particularly active, where a nurse hanged herself. Oh, that's terrible. Visitors report shadow figures, phantom voices, and the smell of medical equipment. Okay, listen, guys, if you take anything away from this wild ride that we're on right now, make sure you take with you that if something is telling you that there are 60,000 or 160,000 ghosts at a certain location, do not go there. Please do not go there. That is crazy. Okay, the ancient Ram Inn in England, built on a pagan burial ground. This 12th century inn is considered one of the most haunted places in England. The owner reports being physically attacked by spirits, finding children's skeletons under staircases, and encountering incubi and succubi. What are even those? What are even those? I'm going to have to Google that after this. Incubi and succubi. Not into it. I don't know what that is, but I don't like it. I fully don't like it, and I don't know what it is. I'm gonna Google it later. Yikes. Okay, Chateau de Brissac in France. The Green Lady, with holes for eyes and partially missing nose, roams the castle halls. She appears in photographs and has been seen by numerous guests, including heads of state. Her identity remains unknown despite centuries of sightings. Crazy. Oh, this is fun. We're going oceanic for this next part. We have maritime hauntings. The Flying Dutchman, the phantom ship doomed to sail the seas forever, has been reported by sailors for centuries. The ghost ship appears before storms and disasters, with witnesses describing a glowing vessel with spectral crew members visible on deck. The ocean is scary enough, let alone adding apparitions sailing around out there. The RMS Queen Mary. Beyond the Long Beach installation at sea, the ship was haunted by passengers and crew who died aboard. The most famous is Half-Hatch Harry, a sailor who was crushed by watertight door 13, and still appears in the area trying to warn others of danger. Oh my goodness. The USS Hornet in California. This aircraft carrier turned museum is haunted by sailors who died aboard during World War II. Visitors report phantom footsteps, voices over the intercom system, and the ghost of a sailor who appears in the engine room. Okay. This is a lot, you guys. This is a lot of ghosts. This is too many ghosts. Okay. The Lady Lovabond. This 18th century schooner allegedly crashes into Goodwin Sands every 50 years on the anniversary of its original wreck. Witnesses report seeing the ship approach the shore before vanishing, maintaining a precise 50-year cycle. Oh, that's crazy. The SS Watertown ghost phases. In 1924, 2 sailors died in an accident and were buried at sea. Their faces reportedly appeared in the ship's wake for days afterwards, with the phenomenon photographed and witnessed by the entire crew. It seems like there's a lot of these people say, we have multiple witness accounts. There's photographs taken. There's lots of evidence. Yeah, why is there so much controversy around the existence of ghosts? This is what I ask of you. Okay. Poltergeist cases involving children. Oh, this is going to be terrible. The only thing worse than an adult ghost is a child ghost. Scary. Okay, the Rosenheim Poltergeist, 1967. In a German law office, electrical equipment malfunctioned. Phones dialed themselves and fluorescent lights swung. When 19-year-old Anne-Marie Chabrol was present, scientists investigated but found no conventional explanation for the phenomenon. So just when that girl was present, all that crazy stuff happened. We don't like that. The Columbus Poltergeist, 1984. The Reisch family experienced violent poltergeist activity centered around 14-year-old Tina Reisch. Objects flew through the air. We've heard that before. Phones rang constantly and furniture moved on its own. We've heard that one before too. The case was documented by researchers and news media. Okay, here we go. The Miami Poltergeist, 1967. In a warehouse, objects flew off shelves and crashed into walls whenever 19-year-old Julio Vasquez was present. Magician James Randi investigated and admitted he couldn't explain the phenomenon through conventional means. So, it's interesting. Poltergeists seem to only behave this way around certain people or certain entities, which is a bit weird, isn't it? Okay, we have the Saatchi Poltergeist, 1960. 11-year-old Virginia Campbell experienced violent poltergeist activity in Scotland, including furniture moving, knockings, objects flying through the air. Teachers and classmates witnessed phenomena occurring at the school as well as at home. So that's that girl. She's fully haunted. There's no question about it. I can confirm. Okay, the Lithobolia stone-throwing devil. That sounds terrible. 1682. The Walton family in New Hampshire was pelted with stones that appeared from nowhere. The stones were hot to the touch and deemed to defy physics, changing direction mid-flight and passing through closed windows without breaking them. That's crazy. Just throwing rocks. Pretty wild. Okay, now we have honorable mentions. International hauntings. So the Poveglia Island ghost encounter. Beyond the general haunting, specific encounters include tourists finding human bones on the beach, photographs showing shadowy figures in windows of abandoned buildings, and visitors experiencing sudden illnesses that disappear upon leaving the island. We have the Bangar Fort This 16th century fort is legally prohibited from entry after sunset due to supernatural activity. What? And you're going to tell me ghosts aren't real? There's a law in India saying you can't go to this place after dark because of ghost activity. Come on. This is crazy. Visitors report apparitions of a tantric wizard who cursed the city, phantom voices calling their names, and overwhelming feeling of dread that intensifies after dark. Yeah, that one is not a stretch to the imagination. Like if I were in that place and everyone was like, oh, don't go there, it's haunted, and then I was there and I felt dread. That's just like fear, isn't it? Doesn't that make sense? Crazy. Okay. Chateau de Brisac, Green Lady encounters. So guests report waking to find the Green Lady standing at the foot of their beds. Nope. No, I don't like that. No way. No way, you guys. That's too much. She appears in green dress, but her face is mostly missing. Terrible. Terrible. With only dark holes for her eyes. We did hear about this case earlier, but that's new information. That she's at the foot of the bed. I don't like that. Not at all. That's terrible. Okay. We have, let's see here. Isla de las Muñecas in Mexico. The island of the dolls is covered with hundreds of mutilated dolls hung from trees by a hermit who claims they would appease the spirit of a drowned girl. Visitors report the dolls moving their heads, opening their eyes, and whispering among themselves. Terrible, guys. Listen, there's some common sense to be used here, you guys. Like, someone says 160,000 ghosts, don't go there. Just don't go there. Some place is called Island of the Dolls. Just pass on it, guys. It doesn't sound welcoming. Okay? If you hear about a place that is an abandoned prison, or like it used to be like a tuberculosis hospital turned mental hospital, now it's a hotel, don't go there. Just don't go there, because there's nothing good that's going to come of that, clearly. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in poltergeists? Do you believe in hauntings? Is this real? Is this not real? There's a lot of accounts of these things happening. Is it a bit of our imagination? Is it a trick of the lighting? Is it, mental health stuff? What is it? What is that? Do you believe in it? And if you've had a ghost encounter and you feel comfortable sharing it, drop it in the comments. I'd be so curious to hear about it. But that's it for now, you guys. Thanks for joining for this. This was really fun. I love hearing about these wild things. I'm going to Google what a succubus is, because that is terrible. It sounds awful. I don't like it. I just don't like it. But I like you. So thanks for being here. We'll catch you next time. See you tomorrow.